Hello and welcome to the Just Press X podcast. Oh my God, I'm doing it again. Why does it do that?
Aaron.
Oh my God, the podcast is in the background. It's so loud. It's scuffed. Yes, that's how we start this shit. Welcome to the Just Press X podcast, where everything's fucking scuffed every
Amateur.
week, thanks to me.
Conan, if you do this like 200 or 300 more times, we're gonna have someone else.
Hey, feel free. You know, it's all good.
You got 200 or 300 more chances.
Hey, let's keep it going. But yeah, welcome back. We've got all sorts of cyberpunk talk to go over this week, including PlayStation being like, "Hey, no, not happening, dude," and Xbox sort of saying the same. So we got all sorts of crazy stuff this week to go over. We've got our regulars, myself, King Conan. Well, actually, we're all regulars now. So
they let me in, guys. They let me in.
I'm McAaron.
Naked Gorilla, the new official. The first podcast where we're all wearing crew necks.
Nope.
Is that a V-neck still?
Still a V-neck.
Oh, fucking U-neck. Don't sweat it.
Yeah,
all right, never mind. We're okay. My fucking man. There you go.
Vagine.
The front anus.
Bobs. Anus. Ain't that some shit?
That's right.
Yeah, Aaron's the one that's been owned the most here.
So I think I need to start with the PC side. When this game, you can't play this game on minimum specs. And I have a computer that isn't exactly great, but it's above minimum specs, and it's just unplayable. There's so much jitter, it's ugly, and it's just, they just overshot the mark on what they think is acceptable on a PC side. I'm glad you guys have decent computers where you can run it and enjoy it. I couldn't even get literally out of the garage you start in without it just not working well. So moving on to PS4, PS5, etc., it looks gorgeous on PS5. It plays great on PS5 when it plays. So it's a constant 45-minute crash. There is times where you just are stuck in ducking mode where you can't stand up. Also, having the button for duck being the same as fast forward on talking, not the best of ideas. And then sometimes your gun just decides it's not going to shoot, which I think it thinks maybe that there's a teammate in front of you because it never lets you shoot your own team. I don't know. The game was great, really enjoyed playing it, but I had to refund it because, well, it's broken. And I could literally time it, and it's about 45 minutes every time it would crash. So if I would save and close it and restart it, sure, but who really wants to do that in the middle of a gaming session, right? So don't get me wrong. I enjoyed what I played. I will say that the absolute worst part of the game is inventory and menu management. It's hard to read. It's confusing. They don't explain enough for you. And other than that, I mean, I thought the gunplay was fine. The stealth was wonky, but fine. The story seemed pretty fun so far. Kind of felt a lot like Fallout New Vegas to me. So, which is a good thing.
Okay. I mean, he fucking nailed it on the head for me, dog. Like, fuck you said.
No, that was all console. I couldn't get out of the first room on PC without just saying, "No, I can't do this." It was so bad. I felt like I was using a PS4. Let's just put it that way.
I'm high mid, I would say.
Yeah. Boot him.
Fuck out of here.
Oh my god. Yep. That's what happened. I was like, I just killed that one. It didn't count. What the hell? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the funniest bug that I ran into more than once was just in the middle of combat, the NPCs would just stop what they're doing in whatever position they're in. So I'd shotgun a dude, he'd fall over at half life, and everyone would just stop. You could still kill them all. They would just be like, so you have these dudes on the ground just laying there, not dead yet. It kind of made parts of the game. I mean, I didn't get very far, obviously, but it made it a little easy and a little awkward. So that was probably the most interesting bug I ran into, other than the crashing. No.
Oh, I loved that one. Yeah. So good. Yeah, I wouldn't be too off of that. I'd probably say like 7, 7.5 maybe. Like the story I really enjoyed. The main storyline and the main side quests were fantastically written. I absolutely loved them. The choices felt meaningful. It felt like things were different when I got to make a choice in a main quest or one of those main side missions, and that there were repercussions for the choices I made. So storyline wise, I don't know. I felt that journey was unique enough and well written enough to like be like, I can kind of like give it a little bit more weight in terms of what the game overall is, because I think for me, like the hacking and all that kind of stuff was kind of secondary for me when I was coming into the game. Like coming in, understanding CD Projekt Red and how much I loved The Witcher's story, it was like, okay, I'm coming into this game for the story. You know, like the gameplay and all that stuff is secondary. The world is amazing and beautiful. The art is fantastic. I can't even believe some of the stuff you're able to see in a video game in that game. But the story just I felt was incredible. So I super loved it. Being able to go and visit. Oh my god, why can't I remember her name now? Johnny's girlfriend.
Rogue?
No,
Am I
no,
sure?
no, no. A
The main.
yeah, it's not Ada. It's something like that.
I know who you're fucking thinking about, dude. She's the main bitch.
Yeah, she ends up in
She's a badass.
cyberspace essentially, and you go and visit her. And I think that was the quest with the voodoo boys,
The
right?
Voodoo Boys. Yep.
Yeah, and when you go and visit her, I think that was like a really monumental point in the story where it was like, okay, this isn't just like your average kind of story. Like we're full on like reaching into some serious sci-fi territory here, which I fucking loved. And being able to experience that like in person, I don't know, growing up looking at cyberpunk kind of comics and cyberspace kind of comics, and watching the Matrix and things like that, always like being able to visit that kind of space always felt interesting to me, and being able to go into a space like that and being so gripped by the story, I was like, okay, I'm fucking in on this. But then, like Hobo said, the latter half of the game is when I really actually started experiencing a lot of bugs. And it wasn't necessarily bugs that affect the main story or anything. It was just straight up gameplay bugs that were immersion breaking and breaking of the flow. So like I had this one, I don't know if you guys experienced it, but it would be where I'd be looting and then I'd pick up a weapon or an item, and then that item would stay up on my screen the whole time. And I was like, oh, fuck. And like I was like in the middle of a quest that I was like really engaged in. And I'm like, do I want to keep going with that shit up on my screen the whole time, or do I want to fucking go back and like save it and restart and then?
So basically,
right,
it's the Call of Duty gun glitch in your face.
And not necessarily that bad. That one will literally
annoying.
like fucking cause seizures, but yeah,
It's fucking annoying.
I had that happen too. Yep. Yeah. So that happened to me like a couple times in the middle of some like big story beats where I was like, fuck, man, I'm like feeling this so hard right now. I'm like really enjoying myself. And then boom, like some just like total visual glitch that just takes you out of it. And I was like, shit, okay. I mean, overall, the gameplay's it's good. It's okay. I started really getting cheesy with being like, oh, okay, there's a bunch of guys in there. I'm gonna fucking ping them and then just snipe them through walls. And then okay, I did that, and then I'd go in and get what I needed to get, and then piece the fuck out. Like it was,
I
really
actually
easy.
love breaching. I started just hacking everyone. It's by far the best part of that game. Yeah, I know. Well, let's get back to your original question that I completely derailed with a review instead. What do I think about PlayStation removing it from the store? I think that Sony had to, and I hope that this starts to make a change with companies not releasing crap before it's ready. Will that happen? No, I think this was a one-time thing, and then in the future, it's going to go back to the way it was. The
Mm.
It's still pretty bad on 105.
I bet.
I put in a refund request. It takes a couple days, so I still have the game.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I guess it really comes down to what are you okay with, right? For bugs and glitches. I personally, I'm not okay with a crash every 45 minutes. It completely takes me out of the game, and I have a hard enough time getting into a game, as you guys have found with
Phasmophobia.
Thank you.
Yeah, I fucking hate it too.
that-
I saw that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. So personally, for me, if Sony is like, "Hey, this game is broken, we cannot sell it because people can't play it," but I know you made a comment earlier about how why can't they allow PS5 people to purchase it? It's a PS4 game, dude. They can't just remove it from only the PS4 store because it's a PS4 game. So I don't know. PS5 version isn't ready yet, and I think that Microsoft is actually opening themselves up to more problems than Sony by saying we're refunding everyone, but if you choose to buy it now, that's on you, because there's going to be a lot of parents out there that are buying this game without realizing what that really means right before Christmas time, or all these people that bought it digitally, but they don't get to play it until Christmas time, and now they're not available for a refund because it's probably too late. I don't know. I think that Sony's probably smarter about it.
Can I add real quick? Last week, I was super insensitive in saying that, people, who buy this should know better. That's not the case with 90% of people buying games. They just fucking don't know. And,
Fucking true.
like we're really well informed. And so that was a mistake of mine last week saying that. So, I just wanted to say that.
What a
However,
fucking asshole, guys. What a fucking asshole.
so Sony needs to fix their own crap when it comes to refunds. They have
Let
the
'em know.
most.
We've all been through that, I think.
Yeah, no.
This is only for like X period of time, though. Like, mhm.
Sorry, go ahead. I mean, they got The Witcher to play on the Switch just fine. So,
Switcher.
and that's a great game. And in this podcast, we'll be like, "Who cares?" No.
Yeah. Dude, that is stupid. That
It
should
reminds me of
not be a thing.
Skyrim on PS4. Skyrim on PS4 had like a file size limit that would fuck up your save as well.
Yeah.
Way back when, but I mean that was way back when. That was 2012 or whatever it was. So
There's another game out there that if you had too many save files, it would corrupt all of them. I forget what game that was though.
Shit.
So yeah, that's a question too of like the development cycle of this game is when did they officially like cut it and be like, okay, this is actually like where we have to stop actual development of features. You guys have to wrap up what you're doing and get it ready to ship. Because once you're at that point, it's like, okay, how much are we actually testing the build? And so that could have been something where it's just, I mean, it's an enormous game. They can't play test all of that game with in-house. And then also too, I actually was, and I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying like, these are realistic situations, I think, especially due to COVID this year. But a lot of their outside contractors that they would usually use for testing, they would, like when they would contract them, they would come into offices where they would have stations set up to play and stuff like that. And because they weren't able to do that due to COVID, they had a lot less play testing. So I'm not saying like that's a huge factor of why the game's buggy, but like it wasn't for real. Wasn't play tested due to COVID. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Here it is.
Well, they've already stated that their very first priority is not DLC anymore. That they've put all that on hold to support this game and get it to where it's working for everyone. So,
Nice.
And not just that, but like they're like, we need to rebuild our reputation amongst gamers, like so that we, they can trust us again. Like we burnt that bridge with this. And like in their investor call, they're like, this is the first thing we're doing. Like we have to do this. And I'm trying to be optimistic about it. I'm hoping that is the case, that they're going to continue supporting it and making this game what it can be. Because if it ran flawlessly and you could play this game with no issues, fuck, man, we're talking a 9.5 to a 10.
Even if it had half of the bugs that it
7.5.
has, even if it had half of the bugs that it has right now, it'd still be a higher up their game. There's just too many bugs for the game to
bugs and unfinished features, like the traffic system, the cop system. It's like all sorts of unfinished shit. I thought of that too. The thing is, though, is those are not dynamically scripted. Those are all like pre-scripted, and that's the problem. And if you look at the traffic, it's all pre-scripted. There is actually no AI with traffic. The vehicles are on preset like
Routes.
paths, and so if you block their path, they're like, I have no way to get around this. I am dumb. And so they'll just sit there forever until you get in your car and you move it out of the way. And so, like, yeah. 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 So
Game
there's
crashes.
like no AI. There's no actual like police system. They're just like, look, we need a police system. Can you guys throw something in there, please? Because we have to like cut features at this point. We have to ship this thing. So they're like, all right, if someone gets in trouble, just spawn all sorts of cops everywhere, all around them.
So
All right.
true.
And it's like the bare minimum. Yeah, it's like the bare minimum fucking feature you've ever seen in a game.
And they will just kill you as opposed to arrest you.
Yeah. Like a block, probably. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I mean.
Oh yeah, bro. They fucking chase you everywhere too. Doing this for the podcast.
Yeah, I have noticed the AI in this game is pretty much non-existent. Like,
Yeah.
It's bad. It's a step backwards.
Yeah,
Yep.
totally. Mm-hmm. Minimum acceptable value of to ship it, you know?
What is
That's
that
crazy.
fucking deadline that you guys have been talking about?
Yeah. My favorite one is driving in the desert, and like half a mile ahead you can see brake lights and headlights like way ahead, but there's no cars on the road at all. And you're driving 200 miles an hour and you never catch up to anything. It's just like they're permanently out there. It's like, oh yeah, there's traffic way out there. Sure. You
That's
never
happening
get
to me with cars, dude. I would see cars a fucking far ass time, and I'd be like, "Oh shit, that car's gonna come. I'm gonna steal his car so I can get to wherever the fuck I need to go." And he would stay fucking there, dude. I'd be boosting towards him, doesn't fucking move. And then as soon as I get close enough, the car disappears. So sick. Mhm. Yeah. That's putting it lightly, dog.
So, if you think about Warzone, that was a giant game with the amount of weapons and time they put into making it right. You're now going to drop double that amount of weapons in and trying to make it work the same. You really have three options when it comes to doing that. You do power creep like they do in Dragon Ball Z, where every season it just one-ups itself even more. So that means now all the Cold War weapons are better than the other ones. Or two, you basically just make skins of the same games and call it something different, which everyone will call them out on. Or three, they just don't care and just throw weapons out there and hope they'll combat the people that have been using the same weapons forever and have leveled all those up. It's a lose-lose situation in all three of those.
Awesome.
That would be the only way to balance that. Really, like you have to have separate weapon pools. Like the idea that you could have weapons that are, you know, what 40, 50 years older than current weaponry that we've been using in Warzone that keep up with, you know, the newer stuff. That's insane. Not
Go back to
just
World
like
War
in
I next.
reality. Yeah, not just in reality, but like actually in the way they designed it too, the aesthetics of the weapons and stuff too. Like, you know, your scopes and things like that, like you're saying, right? The attachments aren't going to be the same. Not to mention that, and Hobo, you and I had this conversation the other day. How is it possible that in Warzone for an entire year the monolithic suppressor was a thing? How was that a thing? Where you get more damage and more range and you're silenced.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than that perk or attachment. Like, why is that a thing?
That was a mandatory thing.
Yeah, it is absolutely.
It was the Gallahorn of modern warfare.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Significant. Jimmy. Bullshit. M13, just those fucking those big ones. Yeah. shit, dude. I mean, even when I jumped it up for a little bit, you could tell the difference between like the new guns and the old guns. But I thought I was gonna feel like some sort of. I wouldn't say like when I used my kilo, I wasn't gonna feel as strong as it was, but I was still fucking wrecking people with new guns. Like I would see these dudes had new guns that I could pick up, but they just weren't. It's like they couldn't fucking compete, and it was an even fight. It's not like no one got the better of me, but I always got the better of them. So it's like nothing changed. Yep.
Well, I mean, not in Warzone where the sound is just so broken anyway.
It's pretty broken.
Sometimes it can be. Mhm. Fucking ears perk up.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, you just make it random and don't let people choose. I mean, it sucks, but PUBG was a broken game from the beginning, though.
But
Yeah.
So
I tried it for a little bit.
I just don't know what their. I don't understand how they thought that by creating a new game every year and just adding it to Warzone was a good idea. I know they didn't want to separate it every year into a new Warzone, new Battleground, but with that amount of new weapons coming in, you're gonna never have. You're always gonna have issues because it's 50 weapons that come in every year. That's a lot. Not to mention the ones that you need to save for seasons.
No, I agree. The and maybe this is part to do with how the way it was developed is just like it came in not balanced correctly because they're built on two different engines, and they're like, hey, here's all of our guns that we're developing for Cold War. Now you guys need to take them in Warzone, figure out how they sit and balance them all. So maybe there wasn't like proper development for balancing and stuff.
Ah.
I don't know.
Huh.
Fuck corpos. Forgot you're a corpo.
Mm-hmm. Regular Cold War. Yep.
So that's another issue. So all these people that have Cold War, they're used to playing with a gun in multiplayer. They level it up, and then they go into Warzone. They're like, this is not the same gun. Like that's I think one of the few things Destiny, not to get off tangent here, is doing right is that the gun still feels the same in PvP versus PvE. They're not changing anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're changing damage numbers, I guess, but yeah.
Still feels the same. It's because it's the same engine.
Yep.
No, like they're using two totally different engines. Like when I go play, like we were playing Back for Blood earlier, that gameplay feels a lot different than it feels for Destiny or Call of Duty or whatever. It's a totally different engine. Like that's, it's hard to copy, the feel from one game to the next, even within the same franchise like Call of Duty. You could always tell the differences between the Modern Warfare games, the Infinity Ward versus the Treyarch. Thank you, games. There was always a noticeable difference, and so I think it's tough to nail that. And like you said, bringing in 50 new weapons to balance all of those, not only in the multiplayer aspect but also in Warzone, where you have to take all that information over to Treyarch and or Infinity Ward, and they have to be like, okay, how do we mix this into Warzone?
Shit, dude. Basically.
Yep.
So you can do it as the same engine.
So here's the question: where do they go from here? Well, what can they do? Because this is a yearly problem for them now.
Mm. Yeah. Also to mention, the fucking battle pass sucks, bro.
Really?
Nothing interested me. They definitely pulled peeps in. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's different for the people that played the campaign because maybe they have a connection to them. But I do try to play the Call of Duty campaigns whenever I get the game just so I can fully experience it. But since I'm not getting Cold War, I'm not feeling that connection. And to me, it just looks like fucking wasted. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How's cheating?
Jeez. Yeah, just throwing it out there.
I can guarantee you what's
Just
happening.
luck of the draw.
They have their data analysts, their tech guys, and their financial analysts in a room, and they said, "What's it going to take? What's it going to cost to fix cheating?" And they put the number up. They said, "Nope, cheating's fine."
I kind of agree with you, man. When it comes down to it, it comes down to dollars, man. And
That's all it ever comes down to, dog.
yeah, exact. Fuck Corpos. So yeah, like I mean,
Fucking drop
it's
out.
across all. Ever since I switched to PC, like this has been a huge problem. It's like whatever game we're playing, there's fucking cheaters. It's annoying as shit. And now with games like Warzone being crossplay and stuff like that, it's like okay, so now you got all these PC cheaters cheating against console guys and all that stuff. So it's a huge problem. But at the end of the day, it doesn't seem like many of the companies know how to manage this at a level to where it's cost effective, because people continue to buy the games. They're still making money. It's not driving people away in droves. I think if that was the situation, you'd see a lot more pushback from the companies and be like, all right, yeah, yeah, we're going to take a real step to stop cheating. But since it's not that way, they're still making money. They're like, yeah, okay. Like, yeah, we understand that's a problem. It's not top of the list though. We'll get to it. Sorry.
Basically, dude. Fucking sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever. Bitches.
I think I'm out.
I don't know if I'm going to try this season. Maybe later on down the line when it's looking appealing. But right now, I'd rather play the Dawning in Destiny than play
Fucking rough,
Call of
dude.
Duty.
I tried it just to try it to see if the core elements are still there, and they are. So I mean, if it gets to the point where I'm not playing Destiny and I'm not playing Cyberpunk, or I'm not playing Back for Blood, and there's nothing else to play but a couple of buds are on, sure, okay, why not? But I'm not buying the fucking season,
Oh, Phasmo.
and I'm
Yeah,
not
they
going back to
prison map.
Phasma.
Prison map. Let's go.
Mhm.
Firing range.
There you
That's
go.
the name of the map.
There you go. Feels like Overwatch every year with the same fucking Halloween event.
Mm.
Quest.
Speaking of, let me look at that right now and see what our progress is.
Fuck, dude. It's just always the same shit, man. Like, maybe let's not bake cookies. Like, maybe let's bake cakes or something. Like, let's change up what the fuck we're baking this time.
So here's the problem with this entire Dawning event is I can appreciate that they want you to keep playing whatever you want, but they don't actually let you play whatever you want, because if you want to actually get this done without just hating yourself over 2 weeks, you got to do the most efficient way possible, which is doing legendary lost sectors with a group. And you know what? When you do it with a group, you lose out on the whole reason to do a legendary lost sector. So you're basically screwing yourself one way to do something else, and you don't get to play your way. That's also the problem with legendary lost sectors in general. It's like, oh, we now have these champions that you have to play with these specific weapon types if you want to be able to beat this. It's kind of dumb, because the whole point of Destiny was, I like scout rifles. I'm going to use a scout rifle. Not anymore. You got to use this auto rifle now.
Got ya.
I'm getting off on a tangent, but
That'd be sick. That'd be tight.
I think that well, I guess you would have to couch it too, like because you couldn't have like a special weapon being one of those weapons, right? Because like right now they have like the Ariana's Vow, and what makes that special is that it's
Shield
anti-barrier as a yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can see that. I might come at it from the other angle, just like I've actually really enjoyed the legendary lost sectors this season, and it's actually led to me really like enjoying doing this dawning event. Dealing with the champions and stuff has forced me to use not my preferred loadout a lot of the time, where it's like, okay, yeah, I've got to use some different things. I have to play it a certain way. I could play it one way and maybe be a little less efficient, but still get it done. Or I can go for just maximum efficiency and try and farm the shit out of them. And so it's forced me to use weapons I wouldn't normally use. Like we were running through the what is it, Bunker E15 yesterday, and during that time we were like, okay, yeah, like probably the best weapon for this is Telesto, right? It had like a double void burn, and I was like, okay, yeah, Telesto's fucking sick. Like Telesto's fun to use. And then it was like, okay, yeah, maybe a sword, maybe a machine gun. We were trying to figure out what was going to be on our heavy slot, and then the primary slot is like, man, I could go like all sorts of different ways right here. It's like, okay, let me look and see what I've got. I could try some different things, and so we were going through there. He was Hobo and Preston and I, and we were all playing solo, and we were all kind of like trying to figure out our own loadouts on what was going to work best for us to attack the legendary lost sector. And we sort of landed all on Telesto. I was like, okay, yeah, that's the one thing. But then we all kind of like had our own little variations here and there. But I think what I really enjoyed about it is caring about my full suite of weapons instead of just like my favorite weapons. Because if they didn't have the champions, I'd be like, all right, I'm running my Ikelos SMG. I'm running either Heritage or a sniper in my kinetic slot, and then I'm gonna run Xeno or the Lament in my heavy, and that's like it.
Lament.
Let me give you a little opposite of that. I do not have a solar auto rifle to this day still. So you, with your suite of weapons that you can experiment with, I have 6 guns I can use that are actually okay. So those are nearly impossible if they don't match up to the weapons I can use.
I'm gonna counter you by saying one of the seasonal weapons from Varix is actually a solar AR.
How have I
I'm
never
gonna
got
counter you.
The
I'm
Arctic
wearing pickle Rick
Haze.
slippers.
I've never seen that auto rifle.
Yeah, from Varix. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
There's a second.
On Varix, yeah. So if you go to Varix, he has like weapons you can do bounties for different weapons, and then once you unlock them all, then you can go around killing high value targets, and they actually have like 100% chance of dropping a legendary, whether it's a weapon or armor piece. It's whatever, but they tend to drop weapons pretty highly. And so I've ended up getting a bunch of different ones over the course of time. I can see that.
Yeah,
but
so
it is end game content, right?
Yeah, but I can do the raid. Not to mention the very first legendary sector I tried to do was Perdition, and do you know how hard Perdition is compared to every other lost sector on legendary?
Yeah, Perdition's rough. That was the first one I finished.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
I couldn't even. I think I got past the first room once, and I'm like, nope, battle revives again. So I thought they were all that hard, and then I'm like, all right, I'll try this Hive one in the Cosmodrome. I'm like, this is awesome. It was 1250. It's no. The problem is that in the very first room you've got Arc Harpies and then Void Overload. So what are you supposed to do there, right? Because the only weapon that's any good is Xenophage for a lot of these things. I don't have another weapon that can compete with Xenophage, even when it's not solar. Or you still can't do solar when it's match game, because you got to have the other ones, even on if it's on solar burn.
Yeah, and I think that's the part of the puzzle of the legendary lost sectors now is like figuring out your loadouts. And I'm not trying to like bag on you because you're missing stuff and you're coming back to Destiny.
Quit bagging on me.
But like for me, that's been one of the most enjoyable things is figuring out the most efficient way to farm each of those lost sectors. They all have different burns. They have different champions. There's different ways you can do them. Like the one you're talking about, the Hive one on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was able to complete some of my runs in like 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah, I did it in 3 minutes. It was awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the problem is that one of the big bonuses of doing those lost sectors is to solo it for exotic. Well, yeah. They just took that away. So,
well, I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, true. Shit.
True. Yeah.
What's that?
Good guy, hobo. Nice.
It's really, really easy. Yeah, something like that. And it was cake. Absolute cake. And only one of us had to do anything.
Oh.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Cake. Shit, I gotta do that. Yeah.
Billion's a big number. Like, yeah, this is definitely tuned a little harshly. I'm looking at it right now, and it's in 41% on dim. I'm guessing that's 41. Wait, no, we're only at 208 million right now, and we need to get to 1 billion, and we haven't even gotten a quarter of the way yet. Yeah, I don't know if that's
We're on step 5 of 10 right now.
Yeah, no, it's 208 million. Yeah. Yeah, well, let's hope they do.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, what are their options? They either lower it so we can actually all get the rewards, or we fail, right? And that's not good for your community. So I like community quests, but at the same time, it's like if you're going to do a community quest, you better be prepared to allow us to win, right?
Yeah. You want to encourage people to play, but not like fucking fail. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Titan, right? You guys are gonna get a statue, and it's gonna be awesome. Whoever race fucking wins. Go Titans. Here, we'll put it right next to
Congratulations,
Zavala.
Titans!
So
There
fucking
you go.
to the
Yeah,
Titans.
seriously.
There it is. Yeah, fucking Bungie. Typical.
No offense, but has Bungie ever done anything right the first time, or the second, or the third?
No. Yeah, that's fucking true. Just give us
Destiny
something else,
1 year
dude.
1 was pretty good.
Yeah, but they
Fucking
still
joking,
screwed up
dude.
their very first event in year 1.
Oh yeah, the Queen's Wrath. Yeah, yeah. That's right. That's right.
That was really fun, though. That was cool. Cool to look at.
Touche. We need to finish.
Looks like we ain't getting it.
So the community event is to provide a catalyst to a weapon that hardly anyone probably has. That's a really bad present. I'm not power gamers. Talking about the normal people that play this
Actually,
game.
believe it or not, I don't even have Xeno yet. But that's just because I have Anarchy, so it kind of fucking levels it out. That's why. So I'm like, do I really need Xeno? I just got Anarchy. It can fucking do A through Z anyways. Yeah.
57.6% of Guardians have xenophage.
It's not a lot.
Air
Yeah,
Fire,
More than half the
47%.
community. That's pretty good. What? How did we even get it? Was that just a quest? Yeah, Shadowkeep quest.
Yes, I have it, and
That's
it
from Shadowkeep?
requires going into a dungeon and
Yeah.
doing a side mission.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, we just did that.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll get down
But
to it.
you know what? Those dungeons are hard. They're harder than the raid.
Eh.
We gotta go take you through some of them.
Dungeons
we
are
only
fun.
did half of what the fuck is that one called even?
Prophecy?
Pit of Heresy, yeah. Prophecy.
Yeah, I've never done any of them.
Mhm. Yeah, they're awesome.
They are very fun. Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
Is
Okay,
that
so
cool?
yeah,
Very fun. Really cool.
there is a classified Xeno catalyst in the database right now.
Time to lower it.
Yeah, that's true. True.
Yeah, my cousin works at Bungie. He said that it could be happening.
You're a liar.
It does.
Here at the Just Press X podcast, we do like our penises and our jokes. And our penis jokes. But not from the penises. I got bored too fast with that, dude. Yeah.
God. Had a cheater.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. I said that from the beginning.
hurts.
I mean, they're smart. Use what's the best out there. Bungie made a giant mistake when it comes to PvP, creating ability that was so much more powerful than anything else. Because when it comes to movement, when it comes to Destiny, movement is king, and you've just stopped them from moving. So.
Yeah.
And get frozen.
Of course, dude. Yeah, Destiny's always had that hard time of balancing abilities and gunplay. But when the abilities are this fucking strong, dude, it's hard. Like, why even use guns? Oh, they're dicky as shit. Yeah,
Yep.
it's fucking true. It hurts. It's hard to play. PvP's always been. I mean, it's been in a weird spot, but now it's in a really, really weird spot just because of this whole new subclass.
Yeah.
The subclasses were this broken. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so fun.
Yeah. The Titans in this fucking chat.
The tracking
Yeah!
fucking hammers. Yeah, seriously.
The fucking time of our lives. Oh, dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's how
but
you
that
knew you were gonna
really-
fucking lose.
When it came to Trials, though, that was like, all right, you have not every round was dominated by the. I'll be right back.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Watch the ice behind you. You might slip over it.
yeah.
It sucked him in. Yeah, bro, that was the biggest issue. I mean, Solar Titans, it was fucking awesome, and Aaron did have a point. Like, it wasn't something you just had to be afraid of those fucking hammers coming out. Those would happen. Fucking yeah, the third round, fourth
A
round,
super
exactly.
at least, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now it's like all the time. Someone's got a nade up, someone's got a melee up, and then when the supers come around, like if there's a warlock super, it's like, oh, okay, here's half of a round that we're gonna go through. You know, like having to deal with this super. Yeah, it's crazy. So
I'm so
Stop
cold.
Okay.
I'll try.
I just did it.
King. No, you didn't.
What? Oh, I muted him for me?
I muted him for me.
Oh.
All right. But yeah, like the PvP, I haven't played a whole lot of it. Like I played some Iron Banner, and it was ridiculous as Iron Banner usually is, which is fine by me. But Trials, like, come on, man. PvP is more broken right now than it's ever been, despite the fact that it's also the most balanced it's ever been. So, like, yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
I will
you
unmute Aaron as
motherfucker.
well. So yeah, like in terms of abilities, like I think it's really unbalanced. But I think in terms of gunplay, I think it is really balanced. And so, like Trials right now is at this weird spot where only so many people play it every week, especially on PC. I think so many people have been turned off by the cheaters and Ultra Sweat community,
Yep.
myself included, that a lot of people are just like, I have no desire to go put myself through that again, because my chance of reward is just not worth it.
Yep.
And so I think Bungie has a really big problem on their hands with Trials, because in Destiny 1, Trials was one thing, and for the first year or two, Trials was really special. And then I felt like after that, Trials definitely started waning. But in a lot of people's hearts, the PvP community, Trials was, the penultimate, event or the ultimate event.
That was fun. I remember.
And so there's a lot of people who are just like, yes, I want Trials to come back. I want it to be as great as it was, those first few years of Trials. But it's not the same game. It's not the same game. Destiny 1 was way more balanced on console playing, with controllers. There weren't cheaters other than DDoSers, which sucked ass anyway. But
Those are way more apparent. Like you could, I just got
Yep.
DDoS. That's nice.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
I don't know if this guy's cheating or not, but it looks like he is. But once again, there's no for sure way.
Yeah, so it's like now we have abilities like we never had in D1. We've got weapons galore that are super powerful, and can do things that we never could do in D1. It's not the same PvP experience. It doesn't lend itself to this flawless experience. And so my idea is that they need to switch Trials to a Iron Banner like system where it's
Ooh.
Iron
open
Banner
to the
style.
community. Well, I mean, Iron Banner is what it is. It's 6v6 PvP. Yeah, I agree. But like Iron Banner is 6v6 competitive and Trials is 3v3 competitive, and I don't see a need for Trials to be pre-made fire teams anymore. I don't see a need for Trials to have a flawless thing anymore. There's nothing to do with that in Iron Banner. Why is there one in Trials? Yeah, it was super special and amazing in D1 when you went flawless. Who gives a fuck in D2? No one cares other than
so
the
fucking true.
1%. Yeah, no one cares. And even when they do it, they're like, oh yeah, I went, 20 times this weekend. It's like, yeah, because you just fucking shut down so many people that would have loved to have maybe gone once.
Yep.
Okay, like, so it has this thing where it's just going to continue to cycle and kill itself because you continue to kill off the player base. There's no need for it to be in a system like this. Let's be a welcoming community. Let's be a playlist or a game mode that welcomes people in to like want to do things where they feel like they can earn things, where they can feel like they can play in a game. And even if they did go up in a match against cheaters, they're like, oh, fuck it, sick. Maybe I got a random rolled summoner after, like where it's much more, open to everyone. Like why is pre-made fire teams a thing for Trials at this point? $100%. Yep. Or weapon or armor or
That'd be tight.
whatever. Yeah. Mhm. Mm-hmm.
But a fucking broken soul. Your
Yeah,
dignity
sure.
just in the fucking ground.
Or summon a broken monitor.
Exactly. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Punching yourself in the face, yeah.
$42.
Quick mouse.
Yeah, and fucking throw the bounties in like you've got for
IB.
Iron Banner. Throw in a seasonal quest line where you can earn, an adept weapon or two or whatever the fuck it is. Right now, it's made it way too exclusive to certain groups, and it's only made that group more and more toxic and negative, and promoting cheating and all that because it's so exclusive that the only way to win for most people is through cheating. So it's like,
Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
So-
it's in
That's
a
a
real
fucking trap.
problem. Sorry, go ahead.
It's just Destiny 2 for me, dude.
Destiny 2 in general is, to me, a very massive failure.
Just make D3
Because
or just. Yeah, I
And
know
I-
that's the part that hurts.
and
but
I say it's a massive failure. It's still a fun game, but I've hated almost everything they've done to Destiny.
dude,
But I'll keep playing it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
here's the
And
devil's
then it's like,
advocate.
okay, well, that's going to die down eventually, right?
Here's the devil's advocate to everything you're saying, even though I agree with it, is that while PvE players have a penultimate thing they're supposed to be going for, that's what Trials was supposed to be for the PvP players. Now, because PvP just in general blows in Destiny 2, nobody plays Destiny 2 for just PvP anymore, I'm assuming. There may be some people out there anymore that are still holding on, but they've mostly gone to games where they actually have a good PvP experience, or maybe a better one. So that's the devil's advocate, which is they need to have their penultimate thing, just like we are supposed to have ours in PvE. I don't even know what that is in PvE anymore. I'm assuming it's the Lost Sector solo, but I don't know.
It's the raid.
It's not the raid. Right. So I agree with all but where you said the raid. The raid is no longer a penultimate thing like it used to be in D1. Penultimate part is what I'm saying. But yeah, pinnacle. It's not the prestige. I don't know what the raid. It's not hard anymore. It's not like all those other things you just said are harder than the raid.
just need
Oh
to.
my God.
Those are always fun. No one ever asked for those to leave.
Hard.
Or does it need to be contest modifier? Yeah. I'm just wondering. I don't like the contest modifiers. I like when. Well, actually, that's fine. Never mind. I was thinking of something else. But they don't. They don't design the whole raid twice. The hard no. The maps were the exact same. The assets were the exact same. They were making the mechanics had to change. So when they say they have to redo the whole raid, no, they don't. They have to redo some of the mechanics of the raid. 70 to 80% of this is done. So I am sorry if they have to do 20 to 30% more to give us what we were accustomed to. And then they took away. No, I think they were getting flack because they would do this and no one would play it because there was no reason to. They have broken their game with there's no in D1 there were better weapons in the hard mode. Yeah, you couldn't get like for instance rat. Yeah. Yep. Fatebringer.
So hey, just real quick, just a statistic to throw in there. 26% of all Guardians have the raid emblem. So a quarter of the entire player base has been through the new raid.
Yep.
Just to take that into some of them used to be 10%.
High, yeah.
Opinion. That's high compared to what it used to be. Just to throw that out there though. So go ahead. Mm-hmm.
You guys know why I'm eating this? Because I'm hungry for a bomb-ass Destiny experience. But I'm not getting it. So now I gotta eat this pizza. Fucking bullshit. Stop baking cookies, start making pizzas.
So this is the problem with Destiny, is that they give you a horrible reason to do almost everything. That's all.
See, I don't feel that way. Like me, I fucking love playing Destiny. Like I don't need like some ridiculous reward to go play something. I enjoy playing the game. I think the mechanics of the game, I think the way it feels, the abilities that you have, there are different weapons and loadouts you can do. It's so much fun.
So if the Lost Sectors, instead of having a chance at an exotic, had a chance at a specific gun, and the higher level, the more adept it became, versus a random exotic, or if each strike had strike-specific loot, they don't have to do much to do that. It gives you a reason to do something specific. Raids have specific guns and armor, which is great. Strikes have nothing. The Nightfall, I think they're coming back with Nightfall-specific loot, which is nice. Yeah. But give me a reason. I may not like the gun that's in there. Like, for instance, whatever. In D1, every strike had a specific loot. And some of the guns were fantastic, like the Grasp or whatever it was.
Grasp of Malik.
Thank you. And some of them were crap, like that hand cannon from that one. But
that ugly ass arm piece from that one fucking strike, dude.
I love that one. I totally. The Hunter
dude,
one?
I preferred the helmet, dude. The arm is fucking shit.
Remember the Hunter capes?
Yeah.
That is right. You know what? You are right. Forgot about.
They got rid of all of it.
Oh my god, yeah, the Osprey or whatever.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right. So they're taking away all of, and then Destiny, or what is this called? Beyond Light came out with 28 weapons in the weapon pool. They had to add more in because they were like, oh yeah, people want gear. Like, what is that?
Well, they've come out and like full on admitted. They're like, yeah, you're right. We needed to add more. We didn't we didn't meet what you guys need. So,
But they didn't add more. They just brought more in from the previous. They didn't.
no, correct. But they have then since, I don't know if you saw the big post that the one of the main producers, it wasn't Luke Smith, it was oh God, one of the like other leads. He's like, yeah, you're right. Like this isn't enough. And going forward, our yearly releases are going to have way more weapons and things for you guys to earn. We're adding all the Nightfall loot back in. We're adding, Nightfall loot to the new strikes. So they realized that they went too hard one way with this, and so they're trying to course correct. Not to make excuses for them, which I probably sound like I do a lot. But it does seem like they're trying to fix the error that they made with sunsetting.
So I just want to say one thing here real quick. I complain about this game because this is my favorite series of all time. I love Destiny 1 so much, and I want this to be the game, my only game I play. And it's not. Because it can't be. They don't do enough for me. They keep screwing things up left and right, making things worse, slightly better, then worse again. And I just want it to be as fun as it was in D1 when I played the crap out of it. And what happens is for a month, it's super fun. And then you realize there's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
No, but D1, I had the option to go say, all right, I need a grasp. I don't have the perfect grasp. I'm going to keep doing grasp. I have no way to do that here. There's nothing for me to say except for like apparently this really crap auto rifle solar that I wasn't aware of existed, which by the way, Genesis and Unrelenting, that's a horrible roll.
That's not a great roll.
No. Yes, they did.
Huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm not saying Destiny 1 is perfect. I have rose-colored glasses, obviously. But D2 has never felt as good as D1, ever. Forsaken, the campaign was amazing. That was it. That's the best time in D2, in my opinion. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, within the first like month or so. Yeah, it's crazy.
Lit. It is really pretty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just add on to that too, is the new perks they've added this season. Between the raid perks and the new perks and just like our regular drops that we're getting, surplus, wellspring, recombination, reconstitution, like all these new perks are thresh. They're fucking awesome. And they're trying to sort of like not reboot, but like it's almost like a soft reboot of moving forward for this like trilogy that they're sort of proposing here between Beyond Light, Witch Queen, and was it Lightfall? And so like it feels they're trying to
no clue what you just said.
The future DLCs.
Yeah, future DLCs.
I didn't know they'd already been named.
Yeah. So hopefully like those things will push to the forefront a little bit more. It seems like they already kind of are. People are starting to figure out like, whoa, these perks are fucking sick.
Well, I will say this. I'm glad that I don't keep looking for Outlaw Rampage on everything. And they need to get rid of just straight damage perks because
And that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I can get what you're saying, but like so many times the future looks bright for Bungie, and then they just figure out a way to fucking shoot themselves in the foot. Like we've been playing this game since fucking 2013, I think. What
Yeah.
like how many times do they need to fail before something actually happens? And I think like with Aaron, it's kind of getting like, okay, how long
Yeah. When
should
can
I
I
keep
play
playing
my
this
Destiny again?
before, you know?
Because I think if Beyond Light had just not called it Darkness, just said we're getting ice powers, not called it Darkness, then the story wouldn't be so crap to me, and it would be from a solid 5 to 6 up to a solid 7, 8. But because the story was so bad, it just kills it for me. And I know for Conan, you're like, I just want to kill shit. I don't care about the story. I love the story. Well, I don't love this one, obviously.
No, I appreciate the story, but
All the mix between both
I
you
understand
guys.
it where it's in its place. Like with this game, like this is an action, as they're saying, is an action MMO, and you know, I don't, you know, think of it as a like, you know, yeah, exactly. And so, like in terms of priority, it's like okay, yeah, that's like, you know, fourth down the list or something.
But it was still a better story. Like I think it was honestly. I had zero issue with the initial story in Destiny 1. You had a mysterious stranger who was like, I don't have time to explain, and then went away. Fine, cool. But she told we got her weapon. Yeah. So, but you did what she needed, was kill the darkness, which now all of a sudden we're not killing the darkness, we're joining the darkness. So the stranger is like, nope, we killed it. Oh wait, no, we got to join it. But in the first Destiny 1 vanilla, it was, there is this evil out there, and we were the guardians of light. And now the light is shut down, but the darkness is still out there. So we got to stop the darkness before it takes over the traveler. Cool. Good versus evil, easy enough. Don't need anything anything. It wasn't confusing. They might have added a few things to make it slightly confusing, but it was basic good versus evil, and we're the good. So I was fine with it. And the darkness was really a cool concept when it was, all right, we're in a darkness zone. Guardians can't be respawned here. Pretty cool to me. So while it was very vanilla and basic, like the most basic story ever of good versus evil, it was awesome. It was fine. It just wasn't great. Since then, Destiny 2, the Red War was utter just a letdown, because the first one was epic, and this one is, this guy came in and kicked your shit in, lost our light. Never mind, we got our light back, we kicked his ass. It's like, really? Like, there was just, it was such, it was, yeah.
That is fucking true. Stupid.
But actually, in the first one, I got the speaker. The speaker is like the Pope, right? The Pope, well, maybe we're getting too far into religion. The Pope is the speaker. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even though the Pope doesn't speak to God, we take his word as what the God says. The speaker is, I speak for the traveler. I may not speak to the traveler, but I speak for the traveler. So I got that connection just fine.
I think what happened was in D2, the speaker said he wants his own room, and then they're like, "Fuck that, dude! You're not gonna get your own fucking floating globe again. Fuck you." Yeah, yes. Then you see the Zavala comms. Hey, kill this guy. He's gonna be in this way over here, fucking east. Here are his coordinates. Get him. Just like that.
And I'll say this, I think I can do a much better job at creating a better story. In my opinion, D2, the original story, end of the campaign was us getting all of our light back and then some to defeat Gaul. The raid should have been kill Gaul to get the tower back.
Yeah. Callous.
whole thing is a waste of everybody's time and story and lore. We did not need the Leviathan at all. It was
Oh,
the
I love the
dumbest thing
Leviathan.
I've
It's so
ever seen.
silly.
It is awesome. It is awesome, but I get because I'm a
I
mix
get what
between
you're
both
saying.
of you guys. I love the fucking story and I love the gameplay and I get both of them, but it'd be nice if they were both cool. So
Mhm.
like, people
Yeah.
in the middle could enjoy it.
No, we're not. Oh, but I don't care because they've already ruined Darkness for me with Stasis and how we took it over so easily. And we're like, we're just going to use it. It's fine. Nobody cares.
Subclass. That'd be lit. I do kind of
think
get what
that's
Aaron's
probably
saying.
what's
Is like
happening.
I've never seen any fucking hive freeze people. Like that's
Then maybe Zavala should have kicked us out of the tower for us taking the Darkness on, as opposed to saying, I don't agree with what you're doing, but good job. There was no repercussion. Yeah, but there was no repercussions. Even our ghost, who is a guardian's ghost of the light, he gets his power from the Traveler, who is all light, is like, yeah, you're using darkness. I may not agree with it, but it's cool. No problem here. So that's my problem, is they've already kind of destroyed any cool things they could have done about taking over the darkness. I don't have a problem with that piece. Like, it was a logical place to go, but how they did it was, I can't think of a worse one other than just say, oh, now I have darkness, which is about what they did.
I'll tell you what, Peter Dinklage wouldn't have let us done it.
Yeah. Well, Bife's a good guy.
Love it.
But they basically ruined PvP with Stasis anyway, so.
When don't we, man? Yeah, of course. Thank you. Thank you.
King
This is Naked
Conan.
Gorilla. Let's go, baby. The Aaron.
So, thanks guys for joining
Oh,
us.
also, just press X just created a YouTube channel.
Yes.
That's another big thing. Yeah, please look it up. Just press X. All
And at
subscribers
some point
welcome.
we'll link it
Needs
in
help. That'd
in
help
our
us a lot.